Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to travel to another country and become an advanced practice nurse? Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I am the CEO and the founder of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome so that you know that your possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at the Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called the Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. And you can also visit our website at vpnursing.com to fill out the contact us section if you want to create another stream of income and leverage your knowledge as a nurse. Our special guest today is Joseph Muriithi. So welcome. Thank you for coming to join us.
Thank you, Dr. Viola, for having me. I'm excited to be here with you this morning. So really excited to be with you. Thank you for inviting me.
So I want you to give us a brief bio of yourself. Now, make yourself look phenomenal, okay? Because people try to play it down, right?
Yeah.
So, and what was your primary reasoning for becoming a nurse?
Well, my name is, you say this, Joseph Muriithi. I grew up in Kenya. I grew up in a small village in Kenya. So I moved here when I was 20 years old. Okay. And initially my goal was to go to medical school. So I wanted to be a beacon of hope for my community. So as I said, I grew up in a small village. My goal is to end up to help the community there. So I'm hoping in the future I'll be able to organize like medical trips to take to Africa, to my village, and help people there health-wise. So that was my goal, to be a beacon of hope for my community.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now you came here from another country. Now, where I guess you weren't a nurse prior to coming here.
No, I wasn't a nurse. I became a nurse here.
So now your goal was to be a doctor. How did you pivot to nursing?
Well, when you move to a different country, there are a lot of factors that are there, barriers. So I would say some of those I wasn't able to go to medical school, and then I saw the opportunity to be able to do what I wanted to do, being a nurse. So that's how I pivoted to being a nurse instead of going to medical school.
Okay. Yeah. So now, what are some challenges that you face? Because, a lot of people face challenges, and that's one of the goals of Morning Infusion, is to ensure that, people see the challenges that you face, but, they're able to overcome their challenges. So what are some of the challenges that you face coming to this country?
I'll say when I came here, the first challenge was the culture shock. Yeah, so that was, our culture and American culture was so different.
So tell us about that. So how is it different?
Well, I would say in my country, people are more, I know, as outgoing, or they are more conservative compared to here. So when I came here, it's a different story. So like what things you see on TV, you're like, oh, this, you can show this back home. So adjusting to that.
You got to elaborate. What are those things? I want to see. I want to know what you're talking about. What don't you see on TV?
Well, I'm just saying, more people are more open here. They are more outgoing, and back in the day, now, we are catching up back home. But back in the day when I came here, it was different story. There's people government doesn't allow some of the things that you see here on TV. Like people, there's a lot of things on TV here that you wouldn't expect to see back home. So the culture shock, and even the people, it was just different, how people behave and how people behave back home.
Give us an
So,
example. Come on now, give us an example.
well, one of the examples is, back home, we grew up like community based. So when I came here, I was like, why is everybody? I didn't see anybody out there. We used to live in an apartment. I was in Oklahoma. You don't see anybody outside. So that was different. I didn't know my neighbors. Well, back home, I know people from 30 miles. So that was really different. So I realized, oh, people are out there, but you have to go to like the mall or Walmart to see people. But so, so that individual culture that is here, it was really a big adjustment to it.
And it's almost a travesty to a certain extent, because whenever, because when you are dealing with patients, you have to have patient and family centered care, right?
Yes, that's right.
Sometimes families are just not there, with their family. I mean, with the patient, and sometimes it can cause issues for sure. So now, after becoming a nurse, you decided to become a nurse practitioner. Now, how long after you became a nurse did you become a nurse practitioner, and what was your primary reasoning for becoming an NP?
I think it took me about 8 years before I became an NP from being a nurse. The only reason I went to being a nurse practitioner is, as I said, my initial goal was to be a medical doctor. So I saw being an SNP as a way to bridge that gap.
Right.
I can be able to do what I always wanted to do as a medical doctor, where I can do that as being an advanced practice nurse. So that kind of motivated me to be able to go further my education and be a nurse practitioner.
And that's one of the things that I tell people who are going into other professions. I'm like, look, as a nurse, you can do anything.
That's right.
There's so many. It's so broad. It's so diverse.
Yes.
You can do anything. So yes, I absolutely love it. So now you're a nurse with a side hustle.
That's right.
As we call it. Now, what do you do to create an extra stream of income?
Well, I am, believe it or not, I'm a financial professional. So I know people hear that and you're like, what? But it is. I am a financial professional. I teach people, I teach families how to build their wealth. I teach how money grows in this country. A lot of people know how to make money, but they don't know how money works for them and how money grows. And that's what I teach. That's what I teach, and also teach people how to prepare for retirement, legacy building, and also generational wealth. There's, especially in our community, our Black community, there's no generational wealth. Well, our Caucasian friends, they've learned how to have the generational wealth. So I'm trying to educate our community also. So I was reading an article in New York Times. They say, in order for our Black community to be able to bridge that gap, it's going to take 200 plus years. Why is that? Because there's financial illiteracy in our community, and that's what we are trying to educate our people about. Basically, how money can work for you, not necessarily you working for the money.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I've seen many people that, they make six-figure salaries, especially nurses,
Yes.
Working all that overtime, and then they still don't really have a whole lot to show for it
Mhm.
because, it's not like you said, that financial literacy, and it puts a huge strain on the family, right?
That's right.
Because when you are when you go into, and it puts a huge strain on the organization, Because when you go into an organization and you're trying to take care of your patient and you're worrying about your car getting repossessed, then
Yes.
you're not focused on that patient. And
Yes.
that is, we that narrative needs to change so that we're able to pour back into the healthcare community so that they can, live their best life. And like you said, have their money work for them as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to them always working for their money. That is super important. So I'm so
Yes.
glad that you're doing that work.
Thank you. Thank
Now, I guess we've talked about why you think it's important to create an extra stream of income because now it works for you, right?
Yes, yes, it works for you. And as I said, life is unpredictable. So you have to open avenues. So you cannot just be dependent on one way to, provide for your family. So, like me, I'm a father of three. So I have to be able to provide for my family. And just being a nurse or a nurse practitioner, you're working for somebody. So the potential for growth is probably not always there. But being an entrepreneur or a business owner, then I have the potential to be able to provide for my family without having to worry about what somebody is controlling my salary or things like that.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So super important.
Mhm.
Now, what are some of the challenges that you face going into business for yourself?
Well, starting a business, it takes guts. And, you know, I am being a financial professional, an entrepreneur in financial. Most people see me as a nurse practitioner. They don't see me as a financial professional. So that's one of the challenges that I have faced is getting people to take me seriously as a financial professional. Like, no, you're a nurse practitioner. But what they forget is those two things are intertwined. You know, a lot of my customers or my clients are in the health field. So they're in the healthcare, they're health providers, so they know how to make money. They can make good income. They just don't know the other side how this money works or how money grows. And that's when I come in. So that people taking me as a nurse practitioner, not seeing me as a financial professional was one of my challenges. So
That reminds me of Gary Vee that yesterday because I was listening to one of those things and he said that he owns Vaynerchuk Media and he said that people say that he's a motivational speaker. He's like, well, no, that's not what I do. So maybe they just thinking that's what you do. You just
yeah,
sit there and I see that. I see that
uh-huh.
being a challenge for sure. Now, who
Mhm.
has impacted your leadership the most and why were they so impactful?
I would say my father, my late father. My father passed away in 2016 from colon cancer. He didn't have he didn't have protection, and that's one of the key thing I do is offering families the protection that they need in case of things like cancer, heart attack, or things like that. But my father instilled discipline into me since a very early age. My father didn't have a lot of money, but he worked really hard for us. We were six siblings, so he worked really hard, and all of us went to school, all of us went to college. So nobody, he paid for all that. He brought me from Africa to America. And the other thing he did was he built a school back home in a low income place to help the community. He was in the field of education. So all that kind of inspired me to work hard, and he instilled that discipline of leadership into me since a very early age. So, and I'm proud of who I've become. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'll be here.
I love it. I love it. I know he's looking down and he's super proud
Yes,
of you.
please. Thank you.
And discipline, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So,
Hmm.
and that dash between life and death, we need to make sure that we're being very disciplined and
Yes.
doing the things that we need to do in order to advance everyone else, and bring along everyone else with us. Now, how do you define success?
I'd say success is a journey, you know. Like me, if you look at my story, I started back from a tiny village in Kenya, and now I'm in US. So I'm in America talking to you in this show. So that I would find that as a success. But my ultimate success is to get everybody in our community to be able to protect their families, have that financial freedom, and build legacy. So success is a journey, and it's an ongoing thing that you have to. But also, if you look personally, individually, you can see. I think I made some success in life. Being even becoming a nurse in America is hard. So I would say
It
that's
sure is.
that's
That nursing journey is
yes,
is a mess. I
yes,
mean, you go, you take the test, and you got three answers that are right, and you just got to pick the best one.
yeah, the best one. Yeah, yes. Or you have five, and you say select all that are price. Uh, so
Oh
just
my
like me on
God.
Netflix, yeah.
Now, how do you define wealth?
So, well, as a nurse practitioner, I help people when they're sick. Yeah, I work as a nephrology nurse. I work in dialysis. So I see a lot of sick people. So health, wealth is good health. It's
It's
being
true.
in good health.
It's true.
And as a financial professional, your health, your income is dependent on your health.
That's right.
So I think wealth is good health. So if we take care of ourselves while we are healthy, then when something's unforeseen things happen, like cancer or things, then you're prepared. That's how, well, as a financial professional, I come in so that you're prepared. So wealth is good health. So.
And that's so true because I've seen
Mhm,
so many people who were, successful
mhm.
financially, but then they didn't have good health.
Yeah.
And at the end of their lives, I mean, all of that wealth, quote unquote, like money wealth,
Hmm.
flew out the door, right?
That's right. That's
And
right.
and then they just felt absolutely awful. So yes, you're
Yeah, and to add that point is most of us, we don't know, you know, when they say in the American Cancer Association say 1 in 4 may get cancer. So what happens? You have to do chemo for 8 months. Are you gonna worry about doing chemo or taking care of your family? So that's why I said your income is dependent on your health, and that's what we try to educate our community about. Being prepared. We pay for things like we take insurances for our cars, but we don't cover ourselves. For things like that would happen, um, like illness. So, which is very important for our community to understand that and be able to uh, have that secured.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So I'm
Mhm.
super excited for the things that you're doing. You are
Well, I
working it
thank you,
out.
thank you, thank you. Yes, I
My
like what I do.
Yeah, I figured that the first time that we talked.
Yes, helping families and being able to see, well, some of the families we help, they've called me. They said, well, thank you for what you did for me, just uh, educating me on this. I wasn't aware, and so seeing that's give me the passion to keep me going. So I really enjoy what I'm doing right now.
So where can they find you if they want to find you? People.
Well, my email, they can find me on LinkedIn profile. My name is Joseph, or they can email me. My email is bzeop2010@gmail.com. They can even call me. My cell phone, I got my cell phone. This is my business phone. My phone number is 405-535-1105. So you can give me a text, call me. Find me on Facebook. But on Facebook, I call myself Jose. It's not. That's my nickname back home. So it's Joseeh, and then my last name.
Okay.
But on LinkedIn profile, my full names is my profile, my official names. I'm on LinkedIn profile.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, go look for Joseph and figure
Yes.
out how to work that out. My name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders such as Joseph that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at The Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called The Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. You can also visit us at our website at vpnursing.com and fill out the contact us section if you want to create another stream of income and leverage the knowledge that you already know as a nurse. Y'all have a great day.